Okay, so hopefully by now you've have already set up your website to work with FTP and you have uploaded a Hello World page. I'll load mine up. Just says Hello World, it's got my name on it. We'll be adding lots of stuff to it, including a link to our blog. You can set up any kind of blog that you want. I'm going to be using a WordPress blog. And let me show you what the easiest way to get that thing going is. If you have, and like I said, I hope you already have this, you already have your URL working. It's your username.weareidt.com. You can go to that site, load up your Hello World page, add a slash at the end, and load up the control panel. That's cpanel, C-A-P, or rather C-P-A-N-E-L, and wait for it to load. Your username and password are the same as your FTP. Mine is frodrigu. Doesn't accept the 8 letters on mine. And your password is the lowercase a plus your ID number. Maybe it's just your ID number depending on when you took Web Design 1. I'm typing in my password and logging in. The control panel gives you access to your server. I'm going to move this out of the way. You might want to say, no, I'm fine, thanks for this, and not necessarily tell it to not show you this again. You might want to look at those videos later at some point. I'm just going to close it. Say, yeah, I'm fine. Things that you can do, you can change preferences in your subdomain. Most importantly, you can access your FTP through here. If you don't have access to FileZilla or another FTP client, you can check some logs about what's going on your site. You can add some security. You really don't have too much access to your domains. You only have one subdomain, your username .weareidt.com. Databases we will be using later if you want to go through the long way of installing WordPress. I'm going to go for the short installation. That's going to be using the quick install at the bottom. I'm going to click on quick install now. And let me warn you that this is full of spam and services. You don't want to click on anything that you're going to have to buy. You don't need to buy anything for this class. Everything that we're going to be using is free. Everything that's on this page that you really want is free as well. Be sure to click on WordPress on the menu. It will tell you to install WordPress for free. You click on this great button, Install WordPress. I'm clicking on that. Be sure to click on the down arrow so you can find your subdomain. That's where you want your WordPress to be. The install path, and this is very important, type in WP. There's going to be a directory in your website that's going to be your domain /WP, and then that's where we're going to see your blog. On admin email, this is the email where you want to be confirmed. It's just going to send you a password once it's set that you can use to access. Admin email, mine is going to be fi.rodriguez@the-cd.edu. We prefer that you use the administration email that reflects the email that you are already using on eConnect, the one that Centro College knows you as. Blog title, for now, I'm going to call it Web Design 2. I'll put 2 I's in 2016. Later on, I can change it to anything I want. You can do the same. You can call it your name. You can call it your nickname. Anything you want. Admin user, very common admin name is ADMIN, just admin. However, this lends itself to be hacked a little bit easier. So if you want to use your username, like I will use frodriguez, the whole name, I think that works better. First name, put your first name and then put your last name. And that's pretty much it. Then next we install WordPress. You're going to get this ad, and like I said, this is constantly fishing for something. Just go to the bottom, says no thanks, I'm a web designer, which you are. You already took Web Design 1, you're taking Web Design 2, and you're going to take charge of this. So I'm going to click on no thanks. And your install is complete. It says click here to view your notifications, etc. If you just heard that chime, that means that I just got a email telling me that my WordPress installation is complete and I can get my password. I'm going to close this for now and I'm going to open up a new tab. In my new tab, I'm going to retype my address and then type in /WP since that's my installation. I'm going to press enter, and then there's my page, Web Design 2, currently called just another WordPress site. We can change that in a little bit. Hello world, welcome to WordPress. This is your first post. Edit or delete it and then start writing. This is just a placeholder for your very first post. We can change all of this stuff later. We can change the way it looks. This is quite a boring design. This is the 2016 default design for WordPress. We can change it later. And the way that that's going to happen is that I told you that you should have received by now an email telling you what your WordPress password is. So I'm going to pause the video just a second. I'm going to go and check mine to see what it is, and then I'll be right back. You should be going to your email and checking to see what your password is. I recommend that you select it and you copy it, or you can write it down, or you can take a picture. Anything that'll work as long as you know what your password is. I'm pausing now. Okay, so I have gone to my email. I'm back, and I'm going to add to my server URL plus /WP a slash and type in WP, that's WordPress, and -admin. This is your WordPress administration page. This is going to be the way that you're going to be able to change the content and the look of WordPress. Since this has already been installed, I get a WordPress logo asking me for my username. If I remember correctly, my username is F. Rodriguez. The password is what I just got on my email. I copied it, so I'm going to right click there and paste. And why not for now? I want to tell it to remember me because it was a fairly complicated address and I really don't want to type it again. You can change your password once you log in. Since we're going into the WP administration, we are now in the dashboard, and in the dashboard is where everything's going to happen. I'm going to open up yet another tab just to load up my website with my /WP. This is now my blog page. I'll go back to my dashboard up on the tabs, and remember what it says, hello world, welcome to WordPress. This is your first post. I'm going back to the tab with the dashboard, and I'm going to look for my posts right here on the left. So it tells me that it's already has a hello world post, which was added as a default. I'm the author because I'm the one who called for this installation. Category is currently uncategorized. It's got no tags, and it's got one comment, which is something that's usually done when you first install this. I'm gonna do an edit on hello world, and while I might keep the hello world, I'm going to make sure that I change the welcome to WordPress. This is your first host, because it sounds like I just installed this. I'm highlighting the text, and WordPress works like this. You just type in a message. I'm going to say my name is, and I am currently taking the Web Design 2 class at El Centro. This is my first post. You can use an exclamation point or not. It's up to you. I think that's all I'm going to write for now. You can write whatever you want to say hello to the world. And currently there's all these things on the side that we're going to be ignoring until we come back and make this a little bit better. There's no category for this post because it's just a hello world, and I'm going to tell it to update. Once it updates, it's going to change the database that had the original message, and now the message, if I go back to the tab, it still looks the same until I reload the page. Once I reload the page, I see my post is there. However, this still has a commentary somewhere, and I'm going to go back and find it in the dashboard. I'm going to see where, here's the comments right here, and it says that there's a comment by Mr. WordPress, which is just a default setup. I don't want to necessarily do that. I'm going to go back here because Mr. WordPress is a part of WordPress itself. I'm going to highlight that comment, and in bulk actions, I'm going to click on that and tell it to just move to trash. Once I select the action, move to trash, I will apply. And now that comment is gone. So I have my first web post. I have my web design 2 set up on my server plus /wp. Of course, my original page, if I were to go to my URL, F. Rodriguez, etc., all I have is this. And so every time if I wanted to tell my friends, hey, visit my WordPress, I would have to give them the URL plus the WP. And we really don't want to make it too hard for them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a text editor using Sublime. And once it loads up, I'm on a Macintosh, can you tell? It's a little bit different. It works all the same. It's all online. No matter what you're using, if you're using a PC, you're using a Macintosh, keep in mind that the server that is controlling all this is actually running on a Linux installation. So it's a totally different world. It all works the same. I'm going to move this to fit the window a little bit better. Here's my original index page, which I didn't ask for, but there it is. Sublime does that. It's telling me this is the last thing you worked on. I'm going to add, after my hello world, just a break here. I'm going to add a paragraph and close it. So I add that open and close paragraph. I'm going to then have another paragraph and tell it to visit my blog. Whatever verbiage you want to use, just my blog or blog, it's fine with me. I'm just gonna write it all out. Visit my blog. And period, and close the paragraph. Now, of course, this doesn't do much just yet. I'm going to click just before the word blog and add a link. So I'm doing the bracket and link A, doing an href is equal to the website where I want it to go, and this is going to be http://frodriguez.weirdit.com/wp, and close the quote, close the bracket, and after blog, since I want the blog to be the link itself, I'm going to close the A right there, and then period, and the paragraph ends. I'm going to save, file save, Control S or Command S depending on what system you're on. I'm going to get my FileZilla out. I guess if you're working on a web page, you should always have FileZilla and Sublime or whichever FTP and text editors you're using. I'm going to bring my save files, or rather my save sites. Command S, this is my F. Rodriguez. I'll connect. I'm collecting now, and my index is just been updated. I'm going to click and drag to update it. I could also right click and tell it to upload. I'm going to overwrite the file up there because this one's got the new information, and that's what I want to display. So I'm back in the browser, and I'm going to reload my page. So now Francisco Rodriguez's page says hello world, plus it says visit my blog. I click on that and it takes me to my WordPress. Eventually we're going to be making enough changes to this WordPress installation that it will navigate back to the original site. It will navigate to other students' blogs, and we'll have a great time. We'll have lots of fun. We'll be making 3 to 4 posts this semester. I hope you can handle that.